The results are in as the dust has finally settled on Meghan Markle and Harry, I don't fucking know what his last name is, just Prince Harry's appearance on the Oprah Winfrey interview. I'm here to break down the biggest winners and losers of this bombshell sit down. Now, before we get into the specifics of this interview, you gotta look at the big picture, and a lot of you out there, I know, don't quite understand the royal family and what's going on, especially over here in America, where we don't like big families of wealth and superficial gaudiness that run the media and control the headlines. But over there in England and now worldwide, the royal family is like the pinnacle of celebrity gossip and intrigue. I mean, the tea, quite literally, over in England is piping hot. So here's how it all went down for those of you who don't quite understand the circumstances. Prince Harry, he is the brother of Prince William. He is the son of Diana and Charles. Maybe, we're not sure about that because everybody used to fuck around back then. But he is the younger brother, meaning he's never gonna make it to the throne. He's like sixth in order of becoming king because William's the rightful heir and then his kids supersede him. So bottom line is Harry was never going to be king, so he didn't give a fuck. So he was out there blowing lines and partying in Vegas, doing whatever the fuck he wants. He eventually falls in love with Meghan Markle. Now, there's a few problems with Meghan Markle. Number one, she's American. She's not from England, she's not British, she's not proper. Number two, she's a Hollywood actress. So again, she's coming from, first of all, her own life with her own thoughts and her own, sovereignty. So they don't like that. And then number three, which is actually probably number one, she's black. So, when you got the royal family, which has 60 billion years of whiteness in their family tree, I don't think they're interested in mixing it up ethnically. So Harry falls in love with Meghan. They get married. Right away, it's a disaster with the British press and the British people. Meghan is getting treated completely unfairly, a total double standard to Kate, which is Prince William's wife. She is the belle of the ball. She is the darling of the royal family. Everything about her and the way she dresses and her baby bump and her children, the way she carries herself is royal and worthy of being the queen. Meghan is this trash American, bitchy Hollywood actress who doesn't respect England, who doesn't respect the queen, she doesn't respect the family and their ways, and they don't want her anymore. So Meghan, Harry, and their baby-to-be, they say, fuck it, peace, we're out. We don't want to do this royal life anymore. We don't care about the fame, we don't care about the money, we just want to live independently, and they bounce over here to America. Oddly enough, living with Tyler Perry. Yeah. That same Tyler Perry, Mama Medea. Medea goes to prison. Medea goes to a funeral. Medea houses a former prince and princess from the royal family because they're afraid of retaliation. That guy. And that takes us to present day, where they sit down with Oprah Winfrey for their first public appearance since the Megxit. And let me just tell you, in the modern world, in the present world of spin zone and playing the media and controlling the narrative and building a fan base and a presence and social media and controlling your story, this, chef's kiss. I mean, as far as a PR performance, this is it. 10 out of 10, A+, gold star, gold medal. Meghan Markle is a fucking assassin out there. With three main takeaways from the interview. Number one, Meghan Markle drops the bombshell that someone in the royal family was concerned about the color of her baby's skin. And not only did they do that, they said it wasn't the Queen, Elizabeth, it wasn't her husband, Prince Philip. So don't blame either of them. That leaves one other person, Prince Charles, Harry's dad. So they come out looking golden. They're not accusing anybody. They're not slinging mud. They're not naming names. They're not gossiping. They're just telling you, hey, this happened. Someone was worried about my baby coming out too black. And it wasn't this person, it wasn't this person. I'll leave the rest up to you. So we, the public, puts the pieces of the puzzle together. We now know that Prince Charles is probably, allegedly, very most likely, an old racist white man who didn't want his grandkid looking too black. So now we have the racist royal family versus the young couple in love with the baby-to-be, the modern couple of mixed ethnicities who just want to raise this baby in happiness, and they have to worry about their old, horrible, prejudiced, bigoted family. Number two, Meghan Markle says that she had suicidal thoughts. We live in a world right now where mental health is very important. People are taking it more serious than ever. People are more sympathetic to any sort of mental strife, let alone when it reaches the suicidal level. So we now view Meghan Markle as this figure of, she's trying to make it work out of love. She loves this man, but she's accepted this life that is horrible and oppressive and somewhat dangerous and pressure-packed and double standards, to the point that she's almost ready to take her own life. She didn't want to be here anymore. Number three, Meghan Markle and her husband Harry invoke the legacy of Princess Diana. Right now, the entire world is linking Meghan Markle and Princess Diana. Harry says he didn't want to see history repeat itself, meaning he didn't want to see anything dangerous happen to his wife. He didn't want anything to happen to his wife that happened to his mother. His mother died in a tragic car accident. It was involving drunk drivers and paparazzi and being chased by the press, and she lost her life. Now he has a wife who is suicidal. She's dealing with the pressure. She's an outcast. There's a lot of parallels. And now, when you think of Princess Diana, you think of Meghan Markle. When you think of Meghan Markle, you think of Princess Diana. She has successfully linked herself to one of the most beloved, demure, iconic women of all time. Talk about 3 for 3, baby. The royal family's racist. We just want to raise our baby to be happy. I'm suicidal. I did everything I could to make love work to the point that I was thinking of taking my own life. Oh, and by the way, because of all that, I'm just like Princess Diana. Amazing performance by Meghan Markle. And I don't mean to undermine any of it by calling it a performance, because I'm sure a good, healthy chunk of it is true. But you are a fool if you don't believe that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. In addition to outing the royal family as racist and manipulative and overbearing, she also made sure to explain that they are no longer provided the security detail. So her, Harry, and little baby Archie are no longer protected by the royal family security. So it's not that she misses the fame and the fortune and the perks. She just wants her and her family to be protected and be safe, which is a completely valid concern for a mother. But also, when you step up to the plate on Oprah and that's how you paint the picture that you just want everyone to be safe, you come out smelling like roses. She also kept referring to the family as the firm and the establishment and all these ominous terms that basically makes them sound like a mobster family. And once you're in the family, you can't get out. And if you do get out, you're not afforded the protection of the family. While, again, I'm sure that is true to some extent and that there is some danger in being them, I don't think you step up on Oprah in front of 1 billion people and start telling these stories and outing people, because I don't think you would do that if you actually did fear for your life. Once again, I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle. No doubt about it that the royal family is the fucking worst. I don't doubt that they're old and racist and set in their ways. I don't doubt that you don't get a moment of privacy, a moment of independence, of relaxed happiness. Absolutely. All of it is you have to live by their rules, do what they say, when they say. You have to fit a perfect mold. And if you don't, I'm sure you are shunned and outcast and pushed to the brink. But also, there's a level of, you know what you were getting into. You know what you were signing up for. Same thing with Princess Diana. What happened to her was tragic, but that woman and all of these people, they love this life. They love this idea of being a royal. And some of them use their status for good, and other times they're just doing it because you want to live that fancy-ass life. I mean, think about it. In any other scenario, if a man marries a woman and within 18 months he ditches his entire family, we're talking about how she came in and put a wedge between them and tore him away and made him choose. But in this case, because the royal family's kind of fucking shitty, we're just completely ignoring the fact that maybe Meghan Markle did something just like that. And here's the problem too. If you criticize Meghan Markle at all, now you're either A, a racist, or B, you're basically criticizing Princess Diana. So either I'm prejudiced and a bigot for even considering to criticize this woman because she's a black woman who's fighting against racism over the royal family, or B, hey, she's just like Princess Diana. How could you not be on her side? I'm pretty sure everyone in this situation kind of sucks. Okay? I think Harry knew he had no claim to the throne and was kind of like, I want to get the fuck out of here and stop living under this, and I want to make my own name. Kind of understandable, but also kind of selfish. I think he wanted to be, a famous American elite. Meghan Markle, she's wanted to be famous her whole life. She became an actress for a reason. During this interview, she says that she never knew about the royal family, never even as much as Googled them. Meanwhile, there's pictures of her in front of Buckingham Palace. She's quoting Disney movies, comparing herself to Ariel. Ariel had to give up her voice to win the prince, but in the end, she gets her voice back. I mean, when you're comparing yourself to Ariel and having your voice to speak, I mean, you love this shit. Come on. And the royal family, absolutely. They're like the Kardashians on fucking 100,000 trillion. I'm sure it's absolutely awful. So you mix all that up in a pot, and I'm sure it's a disaster with blame to go all around. You don't get into this life without knowing what you signed up for. Maybe it ends up being more overbearing than you ever could imagine, and that drives you to thought of depression and even suicide, and for that, I sympathize. But also, if you can sit down and watch that interview and not say to yourself, she's playing the angles, and she's manipulating a little bit, she's a little conniving, she knows exactly what she's doing to make sure that she comes out looking like gold while the rest of those old bags in England come out looking like old crotchety racist fucks. If you can't can't admit that, I think you're being completely naive and obtuse. Now, in response, the royal family puts out a press release. It's like 3 sentences long saying, "We feel deeply saddened that it's been so hard for Harry and Meghan. We take the race accusations very seriously, and that we're going to handle this all privately." And you know what? That's it. That's all that's going to happen. Because insanely rich and powerful white people, nothing stops them. So it's a little bit of a hit in the PR department. Harry and Meghan go off and live a Hollywood celebrity couple life, I'm sure. The royal family keeps doing their thing. The queen lives to be 170,000 years old, and rich white people keep on being rich white people.